Hello, everybody. Welcome to my first teaching series when it comes to the I Ching. So, all those students of the I Ching or anybody wondering about what it is, grab your books. There are going to be people that are going to laugh at me because of this book. Maybe, maybe not. I have discovered that when it comes to the esoteric, everybody has an opinion, and what they're doing is always way better than what you're doing. Okay? So don't let that fool you. This is what I'm going to tell you right now to save you lots of time. Tune in. Tune in, tune in, tune in to the authentic self. Once you have gathered modalities, information. These are modalities of self-awareness, self-healing, and all that good stuff. Oh my goodness. It all comes down to eventually, and this is what you will learn when you learn it, outside validation is worthless, but it's what you're trained to seek as a child, perhaps, in programming, during your childhood. And so it could be a societal thing as well, or a family tribe. So this is what will happen eventually. You will actually individuate. And individuation is essential for the soul on the pilgrim's path. The soul who is on the hero's journey. For anybody who's on the hero's journey, you know, oh my God, massage your head. Oof, I do this a lot. Ay, 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 ay. Ah. Oof, yeah, right back here. You know what you've been through. So, massage your head while I am going to go grab a beverage in addition to my charged and filtered water. All right, so turn on your favorite tunes. I'm not playing any music. It's just going to be you and me. La 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 la. And so when I thought my fantasy was that my brother would be the man I thought him to be. What is it every way to realize that he has come to be the sun, the magnificent sun, the sun, the sun, the magnificent sun. She had won. All my life I've heard how wonderful it would be if only I were a boy. But she had won. She had won. She had won. He was the sun. That was my brother. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, man. Whoa, coming out of dysfunctional family gathering. Oh my God, you guys know who I am. I'm the queen of narcissist abuse, escapism. I have escaped relationships that didn't serve me at all, and it wasn't about me being selfish, guys. So all you all that are like, oh no, she's a terrible person. I was conditioned by a mother who emotionally abused me. When I was in kindergarten, I was subjected to her 24/7 because nobody else was around. I'm the youngest of 4. She tells me one day, Kathleen, come here. And I'm like, oh boy, this is great. My mom, just me and her. Oh boy, we're going to have some love time. I want you to know something, she says. I'm like, yeah? You're not the center of the world. I'm like, huh? You may think that you are the center of the universe, that you are the creator, but you're not. And I'm still like befuddled. I'm young. I play with my dolls. And when I play with my dolls, I have a little dolly, and she goes outside. She looks around. And this is what I'm doing as a little child at like 3, 4. So here I am in kindergarten. And I remember the whole story about the dolly and all this magic was happening, and she was just lifted up, and then she decided to grow wings, and she was soon flying, and she could see the landscape, and she knew exactly the territory and the layout of the land. I mean, I still believed as a little girl that if you had your arm chopped off, all you had to do was grow it back like a lizard, because you knew the song, and then you could sing it. And when I came back into my body, I could hear all the symphonic music playing. And I was like, that's the sound the planets make when we come through them. I didn't hear all of this really awful, awful music that comes off of Saturn, for instance. I heard, it's like, it makes me want to cry with profound tears, because I know I'm a child of God, and that when I sleep at night, I go where the angels or something beautiful is. You know, I don't believe that we are going to outsource our power to the angels. I mean, how many times do I ask Michelangelo to cut a cord before I have to sign a contract with him for some sort of weird incarnation? I mean, I don't want to misuse the archangel energy, right? So I can imagine instead deciding that I'm going to rely upon my own devices. It's not about imagining, it's about then using your own imagination. So it's a decision, it's a beta brain decision to then use your own imagination, which then elicits, it brings up the alpha waves. And then when you meditate and go into suggestibility for yourself, trance dance and whatnot, then you're able to actually get deeper into who you are and find your own magnificence and receive information, because that's how you receive information, by unplugging from beta, by unplugging from the computer screen and all that. And you don't have to go into a meditation, you just have to unplug from everything that makes you use your reasoning mind, including conversations with people. This is good beer. Cheers, everyone. I'm considering giving it up. I haven't decided yet. Any ideas? Right now, what I've found is that I'm just so much more inclined to stop at 2. Like my daughter always suggested, if I had 3, I'd always feel a little bit, 2 is fine. So, all of us have situations in our life that causes stress, the ending of a relationship, toxic or not. I mean, let's say you were married and long term, and over time, your partner just couldn't be with you. They couldn't be present. They became alcoholics or something, or they, like my brother, has become a true curmudgeon. My last husband, who I loved, I was going to stay with him. he couldn't handle his mother's death. And then he came home and he was possessed. I'm not going to tell you the details, but I could write it in an essay. And it was like, who is this man not making love to me, but having sex? And not even having sex, but fucking me. Like, I'm not even somebody he's ever seen before in his entire life. But I'm a complete stranger. And I wondered if he took on the demon that was in his mother jumped onto him. Because he became a changed person. And he started sucking my energy dry. And when I finally got the gumption to leave him, it was only after I had a Kundalini awakening and I realized I couldn't be with him because it was in destiny. It was actually against my nature to be with him. And that he aged so rapidly after I left. And I know this because we had the same hairdresser. And my hairdresser didn't tell me that just to be nice. I saw him too, and it was like, whoa. And that's when you realize, when you're in a narcissistically abusive relationship, you have the glow up, and they have the drain down. Because you're the one that's like, here. You're the one feeding them. And that's what happens in a narcissistic family. So I love the sisters that I had in the past, not who they are now. And the same goes for my brother, who's changed. I mean, Dad has passed. And my brother's a different person, but I look back at it and like, I give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he may have rescued me time and time again, but it seems always to his benefit. Or it's like I didn't really realize it. And then I go, whoa. He has always been a good brother and a delightful brother. But he's no longer my brother. He's just an angry old man. And that's what happens. He was the golden child son. It was like my parents had the perfect athletes in my golden child sister, the Irish twin, let's just call her that. The Irish twin, also known as the silver thief. And she will one day give me back what is rightfully mine, and she will send 2 place settings to me. And I will receive them with love and receptivity when she realizes the error of her ways. To have myself and Mom and her all agreed she and I would split 50-50. And I said, how about Jan? And then I said, I would be willing to take 3. And now with Corky wanting everything, I'm like, all right, I'll take 2. And so I am really happy with just 2. I mean, ecstatic. That's all I need. So why would I want 6, right? I was going to give my son and my daughter the other 2, but now they're all in another family because the narcissists are enmeshed. That's what happens over time in narcissistic families. They feel entitled to it as well, and they justify it, and they have all these reasons why. But taking the whole thing, that was pretty low, right? But I feel like, she'll see the error of her ways. If she doesn't, she doesn't. No skin off of my back. But it makes it so I see the ugliness of what she has become, which is entitled. It's like, ugh, yuck. And my brother has become a curmudgeon. I mean, he's a prick. I don't know what he's like in person, but I don't want to know anymore. Ugh. What is it like? Okay, talking? All right, I'll tell you. It's like I'm massaging my head. They want you to listen to what they have to say. And then they talk over you when you want to express yourself. And then you go, oh, okay, this conversation is all about you, right? All right, so I should just listen. All right, go ahead. And then they go on and on and on and on and on and on. I mean, that's energy zapping. So I'm going, all right, what do I do? And then I started going, every time I call my brother, he's short. He cuts me off. He's too busy. He would, in his defense, he would be like, oh, that's because she's calling about a problem with her water heater. Yeah. And he's not cussing, but he's being short with me and like giving me really bad advice, telling me to take care of it myself without knowing all the facts. Ken, it's not the same as you when you were older and you climbed the billboard and we're on Bramble Drive and I'm running to get away from the Dubois brothers and like they want to hurt me and you're like, I'm running to get your help. I ran to get my brother's help. And he goes, this is when I was like 4. He goes, keep running, Kat. You got this. You're faster than they are. I came to him for help, and he's like, keep going. You got it. And that actually ended up being how I became a fast runner. On your mark, get set, go, I imagined the Dubois brothers chasing me. And I was the fastest for both boys and girls up until 5th grade. And then they tied me. And in 6th grade, their T levels took off. And that's why I say 5th, 6th grade. If once a student male turns in 6th grade in American standards, then they cannot become trainee athletes because they've already have this massive T level boost. I mean, then I had all these other guys faster than me. You know how come I knew it? I could not run them and they tried to kiss me. Just kidding. That was funny, right? I just thought of it. But, yeah. So the dysfunctional family is that my mother worshiped my brother and I grew up just fine. I didn't have any of these issues until later. It's like it all comes out later. So I'm reflecting back. So stick with me. Suspend any judgment or wishing, wanting, and tendency to be like, and know that I'm telling you a story and I have to make it very basic. And then you're talking decades and I have to say it in sentences. All right? So like, have some forgiveness. Just a little. Actually, give me this much. Okay? At least this much and this much. This leeway. I need this and this. I need this. All right? So I actually had this light feeling after I decided I wasn't going to, I told my brother in text after we talked on the phone. And it was like, Ken, I mean, why did he pick up if he was going to talk so rudely? Like, don't answer it. What are you, demonstrating something? Or are you using me as a punching bag? Which is another name of scapegoat. People don't realize there's a scapegoat can also be a punching bag, and there's another name for a whipping boy. It's when the collective or an individual can't handle something, such as steam, and they want to vent it at somebody. So they have inside of them, and then poof at you. And as an empath and energetic sensitive, who was called too sensitive my entire life, I was told I had to grow a thick skin. So I had to learn a lot of coping mechanisms. I did. But then in retrospect, now I can see and understand and like go, wow, now I see. Now I see. Wow. I've always worshiped my brother. I've always loved my brother. I've always wanted to. So it's my fault. But it's not like a narcissist putting you up on the pedestal and then devaluing you on purpose. No. I had my brother up on a pedestal and I had a blinders set on my eyes. I was like the justice system in America. I had blinders on. I was just like the justice system in our own country. You know, justice in the Tarot has no blinders and a sword. That's why you can actually do your own justice, do your own cutting. You don't need Archangel Michael. So stop, people. Stop all your calling in anything other than your own God self connected to the divine, which you are. I mean, Jesus is your brother. Jesus is my brother. So before I get too close to the 30-minute mark, too much closer I mean, because we're at 20, the I Ching. This is important stuff to know, and I'm going to teach you. So, starting with hexagram, and you're going to figure out what all that means later, or now, when I send you off onto your own online discovery, or why don't you get a book, a real book? Get a book. Get a book. This is an old book. Anyway, this is the Ching. It's the creative principle. So essentially, it is the beginning. In the beginning, in any beginning, there is light. In the creative principle, there's an idea, there's a spark. There's a spark. There's a spark, right? There's a spark. So the spark is Ching, which is, and interestingly enough, these are all yang symbols. Chin, chin. All straight lines. All straight lines. Male, male. So this is a symbol. This isn't about sex. This is about power and in the creative principle. And if you know more about the I Ching, I will go more into it, but it's called the Book of Changes, but it's also the art of war. Do you think we're in the art of war? Do you think we're in a war here? Do you think we're in a war for our consciousness here? Do you think they're in a war for our soul here? Do you think they're in a war for our DNA here? Huh? Deer in headlights, blink, blink, you know that the powers that want to be are bullies with deep pockets. However, the earth doesn't have a bank account, and that's what we're connected to. So this teacher connects totally with the body, my own inner star, into the earth, and also through the sun to the universal earth star. Soul star sun system. And it's like the true creator of which I'm from. That's when I had this Kundalini thing. I had a heightened spiritual experience which changed everything, because I became like a monk. I'm 100% uninterested in anything but experiencing love, bliss, and joy. But then my own ego crept in, my own vanity crept in, truth be known. And I just wanted to find out, what does my soul want? And I want to feel that again, that love, bliss, and joy, which is myself, which is my truth, which is who I am, which is God's spark, which is you too. So we are actually creators. And so since we're creators, we can envision and imagine this beautiful world as we see fit. And I'm a writer as well. So, more later. Mwah. Oh, am I ending this? Is it stopping? Nah.